Life lessons are hard-won and cannot be bought or cheated on. By their very genetic makeup, males of the Sigma species enjoy an advantage. They are resourceful and resilient individuals who can adapt to any circumstance. Nevertheless, their strengths can occasionally turn against them, causing them to make choices they later regret. Like most Sigma males, you've probably had to face some humbling realities. In other words, the challenging. Still, no matter how old you are, you can always learn something new and put it to use. Listed below are 9 lessons that you should remember. When it comes to life's lessons, certain guys of Sigma might be a little slow learners. Number 1. It's not always beneficial to ponder too much. The analytical intellect that characterizes most male Sigmas is a valuable one. The ability to think things out thoroughly may be useful in many situations, such as when they need to make a choice or solve a difficult problem, but it can also backfire and cause them harm. When there is no need to be concerned, overthinking can produce tension and anxiety. When things don't turn out the way they'd hoped, it's common for people to experience remorse and disappointment down the line. Some Sigma males need to learn how to stop worrying so much and start using their formidable intellect to do good in the world. Use some of these strategies to keep your mind from wandering and your thoughts on task. Always make time to unwind and take a vacation from your obligations. If you're feeling overwhelmed by stress, try taking a walk or reading a book. It's helpful to think of the problem as a collection of sub-problems that can be solved one by one. That way, you won't have to worry about juggling too many moving parts. If you have a tendency to obsess on potential negative outcomes and don't make much of an effort to dissuade yourself, it's best to try to redirect your attention to more positive or useful ideas. While deep contemplation might help you solve certain difficulties, it can also cause you unnecessary stress if you're not careful. To avoid developing this bad routine, take precautions. Number 2. Your shooting accuracy is 0%. That's not what you say. In the grand scheme of things, there is no such thing as failure if you are aiming towards success. That's because every failure and setback is also an opportunity to grow and succeed the following time around. The flip side of this mentality is that it requires you to put yourself out there and take chances even if you aren't confident in the outcome. Sigma males are well known for their analytical and problem-solving abilities. As a result, some of them may find it difficult to take substantial chances. Nevertheless, as the old adage goes, you miss 100% of the shots you don't attempt. Waiting for the ideal time or circumstance to arise increases the risk that you will do nothing at all. You must develop the ability to be comfortable with ambiguity and to face unknown problems with an attitude of openness and enthusiasm. Needless to say, this is not an excuse to ignore safety. You should always do your research and think things through before acting, but you also need to be willing to take calculated risks every once in a while. Remember that success comes to those who are prepared to take risks and keep pushing forward, even if you feel trapped in a rut or overwhelmed by life's obstacles. In other words, don't be scared to reach for the heavens. You'll never know what you're capable of unless you try. Don't sit about waiting for the right opportunity to snap the photo. Do it now. You never know what you're capable of unless you try. Number 3. Apprehension about standing out from the crowd. It's not the same thing to be unique and bizarre. Many Sigma males have felt isolated because of the ways in which they differ from typical guys, rather than attempting to embrace their unique qualities. Those of the Sigma's male gender who can do so should see their unique qualities as assets. After all, powerful, independent women are drawn to one of their distinguishing features. Although there is some validity to the adage that there is strength in numbers, this is not always the case. To the contrary, there are times when standing out is an asset. Consider that when everyone is engaging in the same activity, it becomes much simpler for an outlier to disappear into the background. The opposite is true for those who dare to be unique. They often attract attention. That might be seen as both excellent and negative depending on your point of view. Some people mistakenly believe that being unique is a bad trait, and use it as an excuse to treat themselves with contempt. Contrary to popular belief, however, there are benefits to standing out from the crowd. In a society where most people follow the herd, it might be a valuable trait to have. An adult male Sigma is able to leverage his differences to his advantage and achieve greater levels of achievement than his contemporaries. For this reason, you shouldn't be timid about being yourself. It might turn out to be the smartest move of your life. However, Just because you're unique doesn't give you license to be a kook. Distinguishing between being unconventional and completely ignoring norms is important. Do yourself a favor and don't overdo it if you want people to take your individual qualities seriously. Make the most of what makes you special without going overboard. Number 4. Life isn't necessarily just, simply because many guys of the Sigma Pi fraternity value honesty and fair play. As a rule, they anticipate equality and justice in all aspects of existence. However, despite their best efforts, the world is frequently more unexpected than anticipated. Because of this, people may experience disappointment or anger when their life does not turn out the way they had planned. Sigma males, on the other hand, need to learn that life isn't meant to be fair all the time. The world we live in is full of surprises, and we often find ourselves in circumstances that defy reason. Although this may cause us to appear irritated and bewildered, it should never cause us to stop being authentic within. If you're a Sigma who can't fathom why calamity keeps befalling you despite your best efforts at establishing order, keep in mind that occasionally horrible things happen for no reason at all. And instead of letting that depress you, think about the future you desire. What you find on your journey may come as a complete surprise to you. Number 5. Concluding that your life has no point. The struggle to find meaning in one's life is a real issue for some young Sigmas. Some people's health problems stem from a lack of clarity about their life's meaning, whether as a result of still developing identities or prolonged periods of waiting for a life partner who seems like a good fit. But here's the thing. You don't have to know everything or feel like you have your life figured out to have objectives that matter and work toward your aspirations. Many of the most accomplished persons in history doubted themselves and their abilities for long stretches of time before finally having the guts to go after their dreams. If you're having trouble finding your place in the world or feeling aimless, try refocusing your energy on the things you do have rather than the things you don't. Idle contemplation on one's place in the world and one's reason for being is counterproductive. Instead, one should focus on achieving concrete objectives and making progress toward them. There are a lot of resources out there to assist you figure out what makes you happy and how to capitalize on your inherent skills if you're still having trouble doing either. Even if you've exhausted all other options and are still feeling aimless, it's important to keep in mind that you are not limited to one vocation in order to feel fulfilled. Rather, you may split your focus among many interests and go in diverse directions. You should always keep in mind that your aspirations and desires can take any shape you choose. So rather than pondering the meaning of life, why not just enjoy the journey? What you make of your sense of meaning is all that matters. Decide to take pleasure in the direction your efforts are heading you. Number 6. Even your strongest points may eventually turn out to be your undoing. Sigma males have many positive characteristics that make them unique, but they also have certain drawbacks. These guys are strong in their own right and believe in their own skills, but they can be excessively critical of themselves when things don't go as planned. Because of this, individuals may be hesitant to ask for assistance when they really need it, thereby reinforcing the belief that they don't require the aid of others. Individuals who lack a healthy dose of selflessness and compassion often find that their high standards and tenacity become liabilities. The only way to prevent this is to accept the fact that speed is achieved by oneself. On the other hand, progress is much easier when more people join forces. Number 7. Hard work triumphs over natural ability. What happens when gifted people don't put forth the effort? A person's potential is limited only by their willingness to put in the time, energy, and focus required to realize their full potential. Achieving success and realizing one's potential are both lessons that are especially important for young male Sigmas to master. This doesn't imply you should become a workaholic and devote every waking moment to achieving your goals. If you really desire something, you'll make the effort to make it a top priority. Because of this, you might have to forego certain fun activities in favor of your goals. It takes hard work, concentration, and perseverance to rise up the ranks. No amount of natural ability, however, can prevent a man from putting in the effort required to achieve his objectives and develop into the kind of man he envisions for himself. Number 8. You can't control how other people see you. There is absolutely no room for debate. A Sigma's identity is often misconstrued or even attacked. However, what some of these Sigma males don't understand is that you can't control how other people see you. The fact that another person disagrees with you in your beliefs, values, tastes, and lifestyle choices does not give them the right to criticize or diminish you. And while it's easier said than done, you must not let other people's comments or actions shape your own sense of self. It's crucial to keep fighting for your values and staying loyal to who you are, no matter how others may judge you. For example, if this requires you to express yourself through clothing or words, do it. Keep in mind that no one else has the power to alter your inner being, so resist the need to change for them. In the end, if you don't have faith in yourself, no one else will. There's a reason why Sigma males are stereotyped as the lone wolves of society. Nevertheless, the isolation is offset by the independence and autonomy that come with living in a world where you have little control over anything but your own actions and appearance. Whether you're the type that thrives on action and adventure or prefers to sit back and think, your unique personality is what sets you apart. Unlike alpha males, Sigma males are not concerned with the opinions of others. Number 9. The thief of happiness is comparison. Do you know the idiom? The thief of truth is comparison. Sigma males and many others may relate to the wisdom of this well-known saying. Many of us use comparisons to others as a means of determining our own value or worth. But this flawed method of self-evaluation frequently leaves us feeling bad about ourselves and blocks us from experiencing genuine joy. Many immature Sigma males deal with insecurity and self-doubt, and comparison is typically a key cause of these unpleasant emotions. When you compare yourself to others, it's natural to zero in on the ways in which they stand out from you, whether it be in terms of looks, success, or social standing. And it might lead you to believe you are inadequate and unworthy. The fact is that every one of us has our own set of advantages and disadvantages, and rather than attempting to compete with one another, we should instead concentrate on growing and improving ourselves as individuals. This may be done in a variety of ways, including by focusing on the here and now with an attitude of gratitude, by expanding one's horizons in terms of knowledge and experience, and by generally striving to improve oneself. There's no purpose in competing with other people since we're all just striving to be our best selves. And that's something to celebrate, not compare against if you're always comparing yourself to them. Don't allow the company of others dampen your enthusiasm for your own adventure. Your path and final goal are both unique.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And do share with your friends so we may continue to create them. To see more videos like this, subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Additionally, make sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.